period, erasing a 2-goal deficit in order to take that one home. Here's Sock trying to push against the boards. It's a turnover. That one, Rahan will throw that one against the wall. Woods turning it over. Wong behind the net, looking out in front. The shot, they score! Now out in front, waiting right there was Noah Mason, but couldn't quite get the stick on it. Mason again. Here's a chance. Sock said no. Daigle with it behind the cage. Will rim this one along, but again stopped in the blue line. Here's Myers. He's lit up by Warner. A try from the line behind the net, looking for it. Webb up top. Maltas off the bench with the purple line that got crushed in the corner, and Dwyer on. Gillis, Trenton McDermott in there as well. There's McDermott forcing Daigle against the wall, and no one saw the puck, and what a... Gervin will find it along the hash marks. Gervin hits the brakes, tries to look up. That one in the feet of a Sonic. Cunningham, he's leveled from behind from Ray Anderson. He was battling up towards the ringette line. Blakeney trying to throw that one out in front, and I can't flip to McDermott. Back to Holder, who's the quarterback. McDermott, Holder, winds up and unloads, and Sock is there for the pass off to McDermott. McDermott walking the line, the shot, redirection. They still look for it as everyone comes together. There's the shot that just misses the net from Dwyer. Another try, they score! Riker drops for Riker. Zach Riker, the shot through traffic was blocked. Harris tries to turn and fire. Another try, that one blocked in. There's the shot, glove down. Around the net, finding it, there's Myers. He's hit against the boards, blocked in at the line. Harris sees room. Harris, the shot, save, as this one popped right over the offside. This will give a chance for some Sonics to make some changes, though. Woods almost misplaying it. There, right it is in front. What a save by Elias. Door, and Sock was there to make the save. Cunningham down low. Here's the backhand at the slot. Cunningham again looking for another shot in the center. Daigle. Harris waits, fires, and Weeks will make that one look easy. Wong backhand road in from McDermott with a little kick and try to get that one to the net. Banfield, he lays up a hit, and multiple back for Campbell. Harris, Warner, Harris, Daigle, they cycle it around, 3-plane catch. There's the shot from Harris through traffic, and Harris off the clean face-off win. Here's Warner. Warner up for Harris, gonna send one through traffic. It's on the side of the... Daigle cuts back to the left. Daigle drop pass, Curvin. He's just able to hold the lines and sends that to Harris. Warner to the middle, Curvin, the shot, they score! 10 times out of 10. Harris now turning it over. The other way goes Riker. Zach Riker moving it on Harris. Harris gives a along the blue line. Hits the brakes, they set it up. One time McDermott, and Sock is there for the save. Webb misplacing that pass. Mason to the middle, cutting past Warner. Mason, the shot. Sock is again. Rahan that just misses the net. Mason, he was looking for it there, was unable to get to it. Daigle to the middle, Curvin stepping in. Ethan Curvin might be all alone. Curvin, the shot, score! From a 2-goal deficit, they were down 2-0 after one. They have clawed their way back in. Webb trying to move towards the net. He was hit and then lays up. It's poked, could be a 2-on-1. Here's Blakeney. He has a man with him, moves it across, save by... We'll flip that one high. Murphy chasing back for it, could be a breakaway. Here's Nelson walking in, Nelson to his forehand. It's trailer, and again, Braden Daigle, he has set up Curvin on this last goal. I would have got the 3rd assist on behind the net. Blakeney waiting to the blue line. Myers waits, unloads, looking for a deflection, but that went off at the line, waiting. Going down, Cunningham to the middle, Mason the shot, they score! That's caught by Nelson at the blue line, miscommunication. Here's Curvin off the bench. He gets hit big. There's Gillis, the shot, and glove down. Go to the middle, Wong, no look backhand, turning around right in front. McDermott had another whack at it. From the line, here's the blast, and Sock stepping in on his backhand. Cunningham behind the net, trying to look out and see Nelson. That one taking a hop behind the net. Nelson to Cunningham over the net. Stepping in the zone onside. Harris moving past a couple. Campbell Harris behind the net, waiting. Backing her out in front with a pass. And highlight real goal. LeBlanc unable to get that one off the draw to the middle. Trying to send that one there was Zach Riker. And they score! Cunningham now finds an open ice. What a move, but couldn't stay on his feet. Zach Riker the shot. And there's a penalty coming in. It's Dwyer on. Moving in, he shoves Harris as he gets by him. Dwaron hits the brakes behind the net, out in front, the shot, blockered away by Sock. Putting this one up, this one lands just before the box. Yeomans into the zone. Harris with his hands up, didn't want to get a call against him, and there he laid. Tried to pass that one off on his backhand. There's a Purple Knight taken down, and the back row here, the shot towards the net from Warner. Now caught by Daigle off the rebound. Waiting behind the net. Kervin out for Daigle, waiting and shooting, just misses the onto that one. Daigle waiting to the line. Harris. Warner one-timer. What a save by Week. The rebound in the slot, but his defense jump onto that one. Warner, another one-timer. The save, the rebound right loose. They poke at it. So less than 2 minutes to go. Purple Knights with the empty net. There's the shot. They score! Right of Weeks. Purple Knights all desperate for a goal. It's taken out of the zone. Is this the dagger walking in? Mason, the shot, score! Period, erasing a 2-goal deficit in order to take that one home. Here's Sock trying to push against the boards. It's a turnover. That one, Rahan will throw that one against the wall. Woods turning it over. Wong behind the net, looking out in front. The shot, they score! Now out in front, waiting right there was Noah Mason, but couldn't quite get a stick on it. Mason again. Here's a chance. Sock said no. Daigle with it behind the cage. Will rim this one along, but again stopped in the blue line. Here's Myers. He's lit up by Warner. A try from the line behind the net, looking for it. Webb up top. Maltas off the bench with the Purple Knight that got crushed in the corner. And Dwaron, Gillis, Trenton McDermott in there as well. There's McDermott forcing Daigle against the wall. And no one sells the puck. And what a... Kervin will find it along the hash marks. Kervin hits the brakes, tries to look up. That one in the feet of a Sonic. Cunningham. He's leveled from behind from Anderson. He was battling up towards the ringette line. Blakeney trying to throw that one out in front. And backhand flip to McDermott. Back to Holder, who's the quarterback. McDermott, Holder, winds up and unloads, and Sock is there for the pass off to McDermott. McDermott walking the line, the shot, redirection. They still look for it as everyone comes together. There's the shot that just misses the net from Dwaron. Another try, they score! Riker drops for Riker. Zach Riker, the shot through traffic was blocked. Harris tries to turn and fire. Another try, that one blocked in. There's the shot, gloved down. Around the net, finding it, there's Myers. He's hit against the boards, blocked in at the line. Harris sees room. Harris, the shots, save! As this one popped right over the offside. This will give a chance for some Sonics to make some changes, though. Woods almost misplaying it. There, right it is in front. The shot. What a save by Elias Door. And Sock was there to make the save. Cunningham down low. Here's the backhand at the slot. Cunningham again looking for another shot in the center. Daigle. Harris waits, fires. And Weeks will make that one look easy. Wong backhand road in front. McDermott with a little kick and try to get that one to the net. Banfield. He lays up a hit, and multiple back for Campbell. Harris, Warner, Harris, Daigle. They cycle it around, three-playing catch. There's the shot from Harris through traffic. And Harris off the clean face-off win. Here's Warner. Warner up for Harris. Gonna send one through traffic. It's on the side of the... Daigle cuts back to the left. Daigle drop pass, Kervin. He's just able to hold the lines and send that to Harris. Warner to the middle, Kervin, the shot, they score! 10 times out of 10. Harris now turning it over. The other way goes Riker. Zach Riker moving it on Harris. Harris gives a along the blue line. Hits the brakes, they set it up. One time McDermott, and Sock is there for the save. Webb misplacing that. Mason to the middle, cutting past Warner. Mason, the shot, Sock is again. Honda just misses the net. Mason, he was looking for it there, was unable to get to it. Daigle to the middle, Kervin stepping in. Ethan Kervin might be all alone. Kervin, the shot, score! From a 2-goal deficit, they were down 2-0 after one. They have clawed their way back in. Webb trying to move towards the net. He was hit and then lays up. It's poked, could be a 2-on-1. Here's Blakeney. He has a man with him, moves it across, save by... We'll flip that one high. Murphy take back for it, could be a away. Here's Nelson walking in. Nelson to his forehand. And Taylor And again, Braden Daigle, he has set up Curvin on this last goal and would have got the third assist on behind the net. Blakeney waiting to the blue line. Myers waits, unloads, looking for a deflection, but that went off at the line, waiting. Going down, Cunningham to the middle, makes it the shot, they score! That's caught by Nelson at the blue line, miscommunication. Here's Curvin off the bench. He gets hit big. There's Gillis, the shot, and glove down. Go to the middle, Wong, no look back, can't, turning around right in front. McDermott had another whack at it. From the line, here's the blast, and stepping in on his backhand. Cunningham behind the net, trying to look out and see Nelson. That one taking a hop behind the net. Nelson to Cunningham over the net. Stepping in the zone onside. Harris moving past a couple. Campbell Harris behind the net, waiting, backing her out in front with a pass. And highlight reel goal. LeBlanc unable to get that one off the draw to the middle. Trying to send that one there was Zach Riker. And they score! To Cunningham. Now finds an open ice. What a move, but couldn't stay on his feet. Zach Riker the shot. And there's a penalty coming in. It's Dwaron moving in. And he shoves Harris as he gets by him. Dwaron hits the brakes behind the net. Out in front, the shot. Blockered away by Sock. Putting this one out. This one lands just before the box. Yeomans into the zone. Harris with his hands up. Didn't want to get a call against him. And there he lays. Tried to pass that one off on his backhand. There's a Purple Knight taken down. And the back row here, the shot towards the net from Warner. Now caught by Daigle off the rebound. Waiting behind the net. Curvin out for Daigle. Waiting and shooting. Just misses the onto that one. Daigle waiting to the line. Harris. Warner one-timer. What a save by Week. The rebound in the slot. But his defense jump onto that one. Warner, another one-timer. The save. The rebound right loose. They poke at it. So less than 2 minutes to go. Purple Knights with the empty net. There's the shot. They score! Right of Weeks. Purple Knights all desperate for a goal. It's taken out of the zone. Is this the dagger walking in? Mason, the shot, score!
And welcome back into Moncton High Sports. It's 2 games in 2 days for these Purple Knights. They took a road trip down the Trans-Canada Highway last night and fell just short by a score of 5-3 to the Sussex Sonics. They return back home today and take on their arch rival, the Harrison Trimble Trojans, who are shorthanded. They do have a short bench, including a key absence. Drew Betts, not in the lineup, still injured. He has not played majority of the season. And also some lineup changes for Moncton High. Dexter McLaughlin gets the start as an affiliate goaltender for Moncton High. Liam Wishart is in net for Harrison Trimble. Aiden Goddard slides into the lineup wearing number 13 as McFadden's going to walk in, try to put one towards the net that just goes wide. Jackson Avery wearing number 10. He's back after missing last night's game due to battling with the flu. Joey Goulet still remains out. And here's Woods trying to throw that one up the middle off the skates of Daigle. It redirects off the stick of Sagadiev in the middle. Rubbed in by Preston. McLaughlin out to play it. He'll leave that one off for Woods. Almost smokes the referee. He goes back into the corner. Woods going to try this one again. Blocked it at the line. The shot towards the net. That one just missed the net of McLaughlin. Warner out. Try to get it to Gillis. The Trojans fire that one back into the zone. Gillis back behind the cage. Woods off for Warner. Ty Warner up for Gillis. The one-touch pass that went through the feet of Avery in the middle. Trojans, they try to circle back the other way. McEachran leaving this one off as it's shot in by Bro. Woods behind the cage. Around the boards it'll go. Gillis, again, they try to leave. Avery might get a stick on it. There was Brandon Warner also trying to get a handle. Trojans the other way, walking in. Trying to move it there was McFadden. Unable to get any hold of that. McFadden still with it. Going to the opposite corner, shoved away by LeBlanc. Keelan McEachran, no look backhander out in front. That one taken by Warner to be backhanded down along the ice. Delayed icing. And this one goes on the net of Wishart, so no icing will be called. Here's LeBlanc. Up for McFadden. That one took a weird hop and goes right to McEachran, who was quickly upended there by Maltis. Beal will send this one in along the ice. Behind the net now in the far corner. They battle for it. Goes up to the blue line. Trojans take it out with speed. McFadden makes a move. Get past LeBlanc. Will find himself in the corner. McFadden out in front. Back in the way by LeBlanc. Another try. The backhand saved by McLaughlin. Maltis around the board. Stopping this one at the line will be LeBlanc. He'll lay a chip pass off for McFadden. Out in front. Back to the blue line. A try from LeBlanc. McLaughlin the save again. McFadden cutting to the middle, has a shot. There it is, the save from LeBlanc. McEachran was waiting right there for the rebound, but didn't go his way. Martin laying up a hit. Here's Webb getting by Legier. Webb on a one-on-one, trying to cut to the middle, and he was poke-checked by the last remaining Trimble defenseman. Ty Warner intercepting a pass. He fans on the clearing attempt, but this one will still get into the zone. Behind the cage now goes Jackson Steves, leaving that one out. Around the boards, the only one there is going to be Easton Woods as he's met with this puck. Trying to poke check, and he does. Very risky. Ryder Hinckley was right there. Behind the net now, it's Steves regaining again, dropping off for Legier. The Trojans a quick exit. That pass off a foot, got caught by the glove. Warner moves it to the middle. Will shove that one along the boards near the Trojan bench. Moving back forward is Nealis. Going behind the net, hits the brakes. He has pressure there from Gillis. Has to try to shake him off. Rimmed around for Bro. Bro going to go up towards Tyler Warner, and he is absolutely sat down right next to the timekeeper's box. The big 6'4" Tyler Warner going the physicality right there. The Trojans, they come back. Steves hits the brakes, cut towards the blue line, waits for reinforcements. Down behind the net it'll go. Woods along the boards, missing Warner. Stopping this one here is Clark. Clark to the middle, had tried to seek someone with his backhand, and there's Ethan Kerman with a high backhand that'll go down the ice, but not for icing. Steves has to turn this one around and shoot it quickly. Shudiak walking back. Here's the shot into the glove of McLaughlin. And Dexter McLaughlin has been a huge part of this Moncton High team, has only had 2 starts. And here, as we watch the hit from Tyler Warner, Just stepping into Bro. Dexter McLaughlin, he's only had 2 starts. One against Riverview. There's one that goes above the net, but he's been just as clutch as Alejandro Kirk in the World Series. He has been a key part of the Moncton High team as an affiliate, as their technical 3rd goalie playing for the U15 AAA Moncton Hawks. Trojans now seeking the puck in the middle. Murphy trying to stop it there. Here's Shidiak walking in. Cut, save made by McLaughlin as this one goes flying in the air. It'll take a bounce, blocked in by Preston. Around the net, Clark will find this one in the corner where he's picked his pocket there by Harris. Harris with speed, gets a slash from Niels, continues on. Gets to the blue line before trying to throw that one over for Beal. Clark now regathering behind his net. He drops it off there. Almost turned over now. Kerman's going to find it in the corner, try to shoot that one in front. Beal was waiting. There's another try, and Wishart will redirect that one into the corner. Hitting the brakes is Sagadyev. The Trojans out to center now. We've only had 1 whistle in this game. It's already 5 minutes in. Shidiak on his backhand trying to drop that one off. Ty Warner was in there for the blocker. That one may have gone off. A Trojan walking back in there was Kerman dropping it to Manderson, who tried a shot to go over the net. Warner to the net. Manderson right there in the slot. Couldn't quite get his stick on it. The Trojans accelerating through center back the other way. We'll dump this one in. McLaughlin out behind his net. We'll send that one along the boards. Warner trying to get this one up. Blocked at the line. Here's a light shot. That'll miss. McLaughlin to his left. McEachran going to find that one. He's angled out by LeBlanc. Now meets Daigle. Still continues to truck through as he tried to pin that one up. Manderson will try to flick this one along the board. It's blocked in there by LeBlanc. First try. But then to be sent down the ice, it looks like this will be called an icing against Moncton High. They're going to have to retry this one. 13:55 left to go in the first. Only 2 whistles so far. Warner across the boards. Kervin getting this one by Martin. Shot towards the net. In and out of the glove of McLaughlin. Another try from Martin. McLaughlin's there. McFadden finding this one in the corner. Hits the brakes. Will backhand that one behind the net. Here's McEachran. No look. Backhand pass was right there for Martin. Strode to keep possession. Martin to the net. That one went right through the blue paint. Catching this one at the line. LeBlanc walking in and firing off a shin pad. I believe it was Manderson and up and out of play. So this will give a chance for Moncton High to get some changes off. Moncton High definitely looking to give McLaughlin some more starts. So far through his first 2 games, or his first game rather, and part of this one, just been amazing in net with incredible positioning. Here's Avery walking in. That one will go off the blocker of Wishart. Brandon Warner to keep the line, put to the net. Another save by Wishart as he stumbled outside the zone. Gillis to the middle trying to see Avery, but it's around the net now. Purple Knights with it in the center. Making the safe dump in was Harris. Wishart going to play that one. Thrown outside the zone here. Stopping that is Woods. Cummings trying to get to that one. Whalen walks the line. Send that one in his backhand. Here's Harris, the captain of the Purple Knights, stepping up to his blue line. We'll put that one along the boards. Brandon Warner will send that one in. Behind the net now, it's regathered by Whalen, who he tried to break this one out of the zone. Blocked in by Ty Warner to start. It's going to be Harris that finds this one on the near boards. Harris going up the wall, finding it behind the net. There's Legier. He tries to get this one around the Purple Knights, finally starting to get some offensive zone time. But mostly Harris and Trimble so far in these first 8 minutes. Walking in offside there was Harris. That looked to have been Beal that got a bit jumpy. On the face-off, LeBlanc putting that to the middle. Manderson walking in, trying to do a dipsy doodle, but was sent into the corner. There's Daigle. Now Trojans regain possession. They move the other way. Behind the net, stopped by McLaughlin. Will backhand that one along the wall. Shudiak, he's hit there by Kervin. Behind the net, there's another hit on Nealis. Warner moved it around. Daigle chasing after. There's Preston with a shot. It's right under the legs of McLaughlin. You didn't quite know where that one was. It's another close call for the Trojans. They've been all over Moncton High through the first bit of this period. Here it's Daglin to take the draw. He's going up against McFadden. McFadden winning that one. LeBlanc tried to put it to the line. Behind the net, Ty Warner. He's going to search on McEachran. Warner across the boards. Couldn't quite get that one to Manderson. He almost lays a hit there on Sagadyev. Warner against the wall. McFadden now hit by Daigle. Warner in there as well. McFadden cutting in the middle. McFadden, here's the shot. And he didn't get much of that one. That one had deflected off his stick and just trickled wide of the net. Sagadyev now pinching in the corner up towards the hash mark. Sagadyev to the middle of the shot. McEachran and LeBlanc tied up in front. There's Warner falling as well. McEachran trying to go to the line. Sagadyev blocking this one in. Ty Warner trying to get this one out, blocked by McFadden, walking in. There's the shot, sharp angle to the net now, and moved away into the corner. Another close call. Kervin almost crunched there by McEachran. Daigle letting this one all the way down, and this one will be called icing as Preston is there first. It was a quick shot to the net. Rebounded off the ringette line. Warner stopping this one behind the net. Cummings trying to get this one in the center. Nealis there as well. Nealis to the middle, and no one right there in the high slot. And that's taken by Manderson as he progresses the opposite way. Sent in by a Purple Knight, so the Trojans will now have some chance and some time to regain possession. There was Woods throwing it back the other way. Trojans will find in the center. There's a hard slap shot. McLaughlin will steer that one to the side. Harris against the boards. That one did not appear to have hit a body, so it will go for icing at just under 10 minutes to go. Less than 10 to go. Gillis trying to get that one out of the zone. In around by Nealis, there's Clark. He hits his man, Clark, to the slot. And they couldn't quite find it there. Gillis trying to hit it off his backhand. Two go crashing against the boards. There's Avery and Clark that go hard. Taken away by Woods, who comes swooping in off the boards right to Brandon Warner. Warner to Woods. He'll try to send this one in and beat Clark. Woods around the boards. He still had it there. Nealis will send this one into some open ice. Delayed icing, but doesn't have enough to get there. Slowing up right as it gets to the red line. It's Clark that's going to beat it out. Shoved by Warner. Shudiak getting the rebound. The backhand, and he lifts that one over the net. Warner and Nealis still tied up. On the boards, Warner. Across for Harris. Harris skating this one up past the blue line. This one to be cleared in. Legier skating after it. He's followed closely by Webb. Legier now with possession. The pass, that went in and out of the feet of LeBlanc. Having to go to the corner. LeBlanc to Legier. Here's Beal in out of nowhere trying to get on Legier. Hearing a loud collision out in that corner. Where both benches got pretty psyched for that one. Shudiak leading the rush for the Trojans. Walking in. Shudiak, what a move. Shudiak to his backhand. Now forehand. Leaving that one off. And how did that one not go in? A little flip pass to McEachran. and he couldn't quite get the panel on that one. Purple Knights with it. Behind the net, there's Banfield. He was taken down. Trojans now bring it back up the other way. It's McFadden stepping in, trying to go past multiple Moncton High defensemen, and he does. McFadden to the middle. There's the shot from McEachran that was blocked by Warner. And here's the chance earlier from Harrison Trimble. Starting off with the Owen Shidiak rush. Where Shidiak just tried to lay a drop pass to McEachran, but floated that one up too high in the air. Not easy to knock that one down. Here's Warner going in behind the net. Bro putting that one out. Manderson trying to go off the wall. Now trying to outspeed Jackson Steves. The Trojans step back and along the blue line. Whipped across. There's Bro slapping that one in. That one just out of the reach of Steves. Manderson going in on as well. There's a shot from the blue line. That one's paddled away by McLaughlin. Anderson having turned around to find that one. Shot towards the net, redirected, and the shot just goes off the outside of the post. Believe that was Murphy that took a fall right on the near boards. Bro with the turnaround backhand was saved, and Warner will just get that one down the ice. As the Knights need a much-needed break, they won't be able to make a change. But they desperately needed a stoppage of play at just over 7 to go in our first frame here of homecoming on ice. Clark trying to fight for that one. Manderson will flip this one, delayed icing. This one looks to be going on net, so this will give a chance for the Purple Knights to get some fresh troops out on the ice. There was Clark trying to maneuver his way the other way. There's Shidiak, the shot off the crossbar, and will fly up into the netting, almost over it here at the K. Avery with Clark in the draw. Here's Clark right off the face-off, saved and turned away by McLaughlin. Another one right in the high slot, and McLaughlin kicks the net off. As well, another try on the face-off here. Jackson Avery in to take it. And ref still looking at the net. Harris takes a look at his tape on his blade. We'll say ref was having a chat with McLaughlin. Now we drop the puck. It'll be Clark that wins that one cleanly. A shot from the blue one that was fanned on. Nealis will find the rebound. There's Clark. He scores! It's John Clark that'll find this one off an initial missed shot. He'll bury that one past McLaughlin, who was just simply unable to get to that one. After Nealis put this one towards the net, it's Clark that takes it and gives it a redirection to the back of the net. Give the Trojans a 1-0 lead. So in this contest, we see a goal before a penalty, which seemed to have been unexpected. So make it Clark from Nealis and Preston at 6:36. Here's Harris in the middle. Flying this one past the red line. He'll scoop that one in behind the net of the Trojans. Moving up, Clark on his backhand. Will try to lay a soft pass off. There's Harris making a nice move to get to the middle. Harris still cutting towards the near boards, trying to move his way back to the net now. Was defended very well by Sagadyev. Herman in the corner, trying to move his way to the front. He was redirected by Clark and then given an extra shove. And Sagadyev now leads the rush for the Trojans. Here's Sagadyev trying to cut to the middle past LeBlanc. LeBlanc had other plans. a recent commit to Moncton High after playing competitive AA for Louisville. There's Warner going off the boards. Lays it perfectly to Curvin, who goes up. That one puck hit the netting. And here's our first penalty. Curvin went into the boards hard. We're going to have a Moncton High power play. Curvin trying to maneuver his way around in the corner. 6-on-5. McLaughlin's to the bench. Gillis now on the ice. Warner shot to the net. And that one just missed wide. Pinching in there's Woods. His shot just missed. McEachran's going to touch up, and we're going to see our first man advantage. Both refs with their arms up. So it is going to be a trip. We'll send Moncton High to their first power play. Manderson to the blue line for Harris. Harris steps calmly to the middle. Lay one back off for Daigle. Daigle trying to make some moves, trying to put it to the front of the net. Waiting there was Curvin. We'll make it Carson Legier. He has 2 for a trip at 4:52. Harris around the net, up past the red line. He'll lay one off for Daigle, who now starts speeding up. Trying to cut past Shudiak. Daigle still in possession. Now going around the net. Daigle still with it, up for Harris as they try to set up the power play here. Harris to Daigle. Back for Harris. They play a little game of catch, shot towards the net, and that one off the blocker of Wishart as it goes to the corner. Daigle pinned up by Legier. In there to help is Manderson. Observing all this is McFadden. Legier doing a great job to keep the puck pinned up against the boards. And Manderson finally digging that one free. Manderson to the boards, to the middle. Waiting back door was Braden Daigle. Daigle leaving this one behind. Curvin stepping up, trying to make a move, taken away by LeBlanc. Might have some time to clear this one out, and it's just unable to be held in there by Harris as it skipped over his twig. There's Warner for Harris, who will guide this one into the zone. Behind the net there, picking up his Steves, chasing his Curvin. He lays a hit into the boards. Manderson out in front, there's the shot! And just off the pad there. Believe that was Curvin. Harris down for Curvin. Here's Avery. Stepping up to the blue line for Harris. Just over 10 seconds to go. There's the shot redirected. And Wishart somehow saves that one. He did not see that the entire way as it headed towards the net. Here's another one to the back of the net. Power play about to expire, and it does. And now here's a spring pass. Broen offside, so he was unable to touch that one. Now under 3 to go in the first. Warner off for Harris. The 2 senior defensemen leading the way in points for Moncton High. Ty Warner on the boards, redirected to the middle. A perfect break as it gets to Webb. He tries to go cross ice for Brandon Warner. Was unable to get that. There's Ty Warner through middle. Ty Warner will bank that one off the boards into the zone. Wishart going to guide that one behind the net. Sagadyev trying to look past Gillis. There's Webb laying some body contact. Woods now hits the brakes. Try to get that one past Cummings. On the boards to the red line. McLaughlin going to leave that one behind. Woods overskates it. Almost a mistake right there. Woods unable to get that one shot to the net. The rebound, Clark digging for it as well as LeBlanc on the ground. There's a backhand try, and McLaughlin there. Cummings trying to go around the net. There's a Trojan in the net. That one's Clark, and this one's fired all the way down the ice. Or an icing against Moncton High. So there's the rush right out in front backhander put towards the net. McLaughlin is there for, so still only a 1-0 game in favor of Harrison Trimble. Webb trying to get this one tied up off the draw. Woods going behind the net, trying to pin this one up. Rimmed along the boards. Brandon Warner trying to look for it, gets that one past Preston. Out in the middle it goes for Shediak. Shediak, a D-to-D pass. This one's launched up through center, almost a nice spring pass to McFadden, but that one gets by him, and Woods is there. LeBlanc, he tries to search for it. Shediak to the opposite corner. Woods stopping that one, going along the boards. Chipped back in. Sagadiev from the line. Waiting on his backhand. Looking. Sending him up to the line. There's a shot through traffic that Nealis almost got a deflection on. McFadden to the back door. Try to get that one to Sagadiev, but this one's launched out of the zone where Manderson will now chase Trojans defenseman. Shot in. McLaughlin's there. He'll get this one out of equipment and leave it off for LeBlanc. LeBlanc's pass. Almost intercepted. He gets it back. Another try. That one's picked off. Shediak the shot. The rebound. Another try. That's blocked. Another one. And McLaughlin there every time. He's on the ground. Pitching from the blue line is Preston. High over the net. Caught down by LeBlanc. And another great try for the Trojans as we get down to the last minute. Warner, Daigle, Shediak. They all fight for it. In comes McFadden with an aggressive poke. LeBlanc trying to hold him against the boards. Penalty against Moncton High coming up. There's a shot. Pad save. Another try. Preston over the net. And this one will end the period. So it's a 2-minute for head contact. I believe this is going to go against LeBlanc. Or it could be against Warner. But Brandon Warner opens the box. Till the period's done, we'll have another look at it. And definitely not intentional. McFadden just coming in. Putting his head down. Regardless, that ends our first period. Trojans up by a score of 1-0. That was Clark from Nielsen Preston at 6:36. Stay tuned for our second period. Brayden Lane from the K here in Louisville. LeBlanc will find himself in the corner. McFadden out in front, back in the way by LeBlanc. Another try, the backhand saved. A try from LeBlanc. McLaughlin the save again. McFadden cutting to the middle, has a shot. There it is, the save from LeBlanc. Trying to shake him off. Rimmed around for Bro. Bro gonna go up towards Tyler Warner, and he is absolute. Trojans now seeking the puck in the middle. Murphy trying to stop it there. Here's Shediak walking in. Cuts, save made. Just been amazing in net with incredible positioning. Here's Avery walking in. That one will go off the blocker of Wishart. Brandon Warner to keep the line, put to the net. Behind the net, there's another hit on Nealis. Warner moved it around. Daigle chasing after. There's Preston with a shot. It's right on. Both benches got pretty psyched for that one. Shidiak leading the rush for the Trojans. Walking in. Shidiak, what a move. Shidiak to his backhand. Now forehand, leaving that one up. That one's paddled away by McLaughlin. Anderson having turned around to find that one. Shot towards the net, redirected, and the shot just fresh troops out on the ice. There was Clark trying to maneuver his way the other way. There's Shidiak, the shot off the crossbar. Shot off the crossbar and will fly up into the netting, almost over it here at the K. Avery with Clark in the draw. Here's Clark right off the face-off, saved and turned away by McLaughlin. Another one right in the high slot, and McLaughlin with McLaughlin. Now we drop the puck. It'll be Clark that wins that one cleanly. A shot from the blue one that was fanned on. Nealis will find the rebound. There's Clark. He scored. And here's our first penalty. Curvin went into the boards hard. We're gonna have a Moncton High power play. Curvin. Here, Harris to Daigle. Back for Harris. They play a little game of catch. Shot towards the net, and that one off the blocker of Wishart. Woods unable to get that one. Shot to the net. The rebound, Clark digging for it, as well as LeBlanc on the ground. There's a backhand try. Intercepted. He gets it back. Another try. That one's picked off. Shidiak the shot. The rebound. Another try. That's blocked. Another one. And Warner, Daigle, Shidiak. They all fight for it. In comes McFadden with an aggressive poke. LeBlanc trying to hold him against. LeBlanc will find himself in the corner. McFadden out in front, backing away by LeBlanc. Another try, the backhand saved. Another try from LeBlanc. McLaughlin the save again. McFadden cutting to the middle, has a shot. There it is, the save from LeBlanc. Trying to shake him off. Turned around for Bro. Bro gonna go up towards Tyler Warner, and he is absolute. Trojans now seeking the puck in the middle. Murphy trying to stop it there. Here's Shidiak walking in. Cuts, save me. Just been amazing in net with incredible positioning. Here's Avery walking in. That one will go off the blocker of Wishart. Brandon Warner to keep the line, put to the net. Behind the net, there's another hit on Nealis. Warner moved it around. Daigle chasing after. There's Preston with a shot. It's right on. Both benches got pretty psyched for that one. Shidiak leading the rush for the Trojans. Walking in. Shidiak, what a move. Shidiak to his backhand. Now forehand, leaving that one up. That one's paddled away by McLaughlin. Anderson having turned around to find that one. Shot towards the net, redirected, and the shot just fresh troops out on the ice. There was Clark trying to maneuver his way the other way. There's Shidiak, the shot off the crossbar. Shot off the crossbar and will fly up into the netting, almost over it here at the K. Avery with Clark in the draw. Here's Clark right off the face-off, saved and turned away by McLaughlin. Another one right in the high slot, and McLaughlin. Now we drop the puck. It'll be Clark that wins that one cleanly. A shot from the blue one that was fanned on. Nealis will find the rebound. There's Clark. He scored. And here's our first penalty. Curvin went into the boards hard. We're gonna have a Moncton High power play. Curvin. Here, Harris to Daigle. Back for Harris. They play a little game of catch. Shot towards the net, and that one off the blocker of Wishart. Woods unable to get that one. Shot to the net. The rebound, Clark digging for it, as well as LeBlanc on the ground. There's a backhand try. Intercepted. He gets it back. Another try. That one's picked off. Shidiak the shot. The rebound. Another try. That's blocked. Another one. And Warner, Daigle, Shidiak. They all fight for it. In comes McFadden with an aggressive poke. LeBlanc trying to hold him against. LeBlanc will find himself in the corner. McFadden out in front, backing away by LeBlanc. Another try, the backhand save. A try from LeBlanc. McLaughlin the save again. McFadden cutting to the middle, has a shot. There it is, the save from LeBlanc. Trying to shake him off. Rimmed around for Bro. Bro gonna go up towards Tyler Warner, and he is absolute. Trojans now seeking the puck in the middle. Murphy trying to stop it there. Here's Shudiak walking in. Cut, save made. Just been amazing in net. The incredible positioning. Here's Avery walking in. That one will go off the blocker of Wishart. Brandon Warner to keep the line put to the net. Behind the net, there's another hit on Nealis. Warner moved it around. Daigle chasing after. There's Preston with a shot. It's right on. Both benches got pretty psyched for that one. Shudiak leading the rush for the Trojans. Walking in. Shudiak, what a move. Shudiak to his backhand. Now forehand, leaving that one up. That one's paddled away by McLaughlin. Anderson having to turn around to find that one. Shot towards the net, redirected, and the shot just fresh troops out on the ice. There was Clark trying to maneuver his way the other way. There's Shudiak, the shot off the crossbar. Shot off the crossbar and will fly up into the netting, almost over it here at the K. Avery with Clark in the draw. Here's Clark right off the face-off, saved and turned away by McLaughlin. Another one right in the high slot, and McLaughlin with McLaughlin. Now we drop the puck. It'll be Clark that wins that one cleanly. A shot from the blue one that was fanned on. Nealis will find the rebound. There's Clark. He scored. And here's our first penalty. Curvin went into the boards hard. We're gonna have a Moncton High power play. Curvin. Here, Harris to Daigle. Back for Harris, they play a little game of catch. Shot towards the net, and that one off the blocker of Wishart. Woods unable to get that one. Shot to the net. The rebound, Clark digging for it, as well as LeBlanc on the ground. There's a backhand try. Intercepted. He gets it back. Another try. That one's picked off. Shudiak the shot. The rebound. Another try. That's blocked. Another one. And Warner, Daigle, Shudiak. They all fight for it. In comes McFadden with an aggressive poke. LeBlanc trying to hold him against. And welcome back in for the second period. Trimble will start this frame on man advantage. Brandon Warner is currently in the box for head contact, in which he had got in the last period. McFadden steps into the draw against Braden Daigle. And it's won by McFadden as the Trojans start this one off on the power play. They'll circle it back. It's Sagadyev. Waiting out here, Daigle is there. Now walking up is Steves. Steves stepping in. There's the shot and glove down by McLaughlin for a quick whistle in this one.
We have the 50-50 winner. The winning ticket is 369,241. The winner goes worth $96. Congratulations.
Purple Knights quickly get that one out. It was Braden Daigle carrying that out rather than shooting it out. And there's a misplaced pass. It'll kill off a bit more time. Sagadyev back in his own end. Dropping this one between the legs. A nice nifty move there to get it to McFadden. McFadden walking in, hitting the brakes. Looking to the blue line there, Steves. McFadden back into the line. Sagadyev moving this one across. Back for Sagadyev. He unloads. And McLaughlin sees that one the whole way through traffic. The line, Sagadyev dropping that one off, walking in. There's the shot. Save made by McLaughlin. Sagadyev stepping back in on his forehand. Looking. Now curls this one around. Moving up towards the line, it was Martin. Sawyer Martin now walking in. Money. And that's a good save by McLaughlin. That one right in his chest. Just 53 seconds still to go on the Brandon Warner head contact call. Walking in, Preston the shot, scores! Quinn Preston gets his second point of the night. The shot from the blue line will find its way past McLaughlin. He didn't see that one. Loads of bodies out in front. And saw the lane right there. Made no mistake putting it to the back of the net for a 2-0 Trojans lead. Moncton High will go 0 for 1 on the PK. This one goes around the board. Sagadyev stopping, curling back. We'll throw this one up. This one out of the reach there of Hinckley. Outside the blue line, trying to get it to his tape there. Now walking in, Gillis. He was poke checked by the latest goal scorer, Quinn Preston. Brought back in, Gillis working his way, going around the net. He's angled out perfectly by Sagadyev. Great defense there. Hickley moving this one up. Intercepted by Cummings. What a weird bounce. Right in the slot for Avery, trying to get a backhand off. And he was upended there. It looked like he had wanted a slash on that. Walking back in, Tyler Warner, and that one just slid off his stick. Would have had a great chance if not. There's a huge hit there on LeBlanc. He gets right back up. However, Manderson trucking his way into the zone. Holding possession. Here's Manderson trying to get a shot off. This one will find its way into the corner. Manderson going around the net. Angled out by Preston. Daigle stomps, absorbs a hit, takes it on his backhand. Daigle to Manderson. Avoid McFadden. He's all tangled up with Sagadyev as McFadden will make his way down the other end of the ice. McLaughlin against the wall. McFadden sending that one to the middle. Now getting that right back as it gets returned to the sender. Now winding up. There's a drive from Martin. That one just soared over the net. Had some power behind that one. The Knights escape. Manderson trying to make some nice moves to get around Legier. But he stands tall on defense. Stepping back up. McFadden trying to toe drag. There's a shot. And Ty Warner's there to block it. Back behind the net there was McEachran trying to go up the wall, held in by Martin. Around the net goes Harris. Trying to go up the wall, blocked in. There's Woods. He gets crushed, but not before he could send a pass off to the middle. Legier against the wall. Back with it is Woods on his forehand, does some stick handling. Then that one's turned over. McFadden walking in the shot. And McLaughlin is there to bail his defenseman out. Woods with a bit of a dang it on that one. Turning that one over in open ice. Here's Webb trying to move his way through the middle. McFadden now hitting him. His pin as it now goes to Woods. The backhand there ends up on the stick of Beal. He'll send that one in before going for a line change. Behind the net, picking it up there is LeBlanc. LeBlanc fanning on the pass that was almost turned over right in the slot. Braden Dangle lurking. And this cross-ice pass right to Nealis. Nealis dropped off. McFadden to the middle. There's the shot. Paddled away by McLaughlin. Another try by Nealis puts it to the side of the net. Defensive zone draw for Moncton High. Here's Warner leading the rush for the Purple Knights. He'll shoot that one. He scores! Wishart's going to want that one back. It's Tyler Warner going to the 5-hole. And Moncton High is now on the board. And it looked like he was just trying to get a rebound off the pad for an incoming teammate. But that's one better. It's put in the net. Goes right to the 5-hole of Wishart. That's Warner's 8th of the year, bringing up to 12 points, tying Ethan Curvin, who has 6 goals in 7 games. That'll be Ty Warner unassisted at 15:24 of the second. Offensive zone draw for Moncton High now. Bro is in there, I believe. That was Ryan Gillis. Now Sagadiev stopping behind the net. Waiting. He'll launch this one into some open ice. Only one there is Harris. It's whacked off. McLaughlin stepping out, playing that with the big paddle. Here's Harris. A stick in his chest. Will be able to make the pass off. But sent back into the zone. McLaughlin leaving that one out. Here's Murphy behind the net. Hits the brakes. Makes a pass there. As the Purple Knights try to get out, I believe that was Riddick Banfield. Cleared back in. Harris hitting the brakes, trying to go up the wall. Blocked in by the Trojans. As the Purple Knights trying to get out of the zone, it's Harris that's just going to flip this one high into the netting. Off the face-off, it's a tie-up. It's taken away by the goal scorer, Ty Warner. That was brother Brandon trying to move it up the wall. Stopping, cutting back. There's Martin almost turning it over. There was Dion trying to get to that one. Backhanded up the wall. Ty Warner trying to block this one in. Avery in search for it. He'll clear that one in after getting possession. Behind the net now, Legier. Dion going in for a hit that he missed. Now turning back, Dion trying to throw that one out in front. He's taken down from Legier, and that's going to draw a call. The Purple Knights will head to their second power play of the game, as we'll most likely get a good look at it here. There was Dion initially missing the hit, then getting the puck back. It looks like the officials are going to deem that this one was from behind. Now off the draw, Manderson, the quick shot on Wishart. Did not look like he expected that. Trying to turn around and get it there was Kervin falling to his feet. The Trojans exit the zone back the other way. McFadden trying a little dangle to get past Ty Warner, now cutting in the corner. A great shorthand penalty kill right now for the Trojans, as Steves will just fire this one in. Harris stopping in behind the net. In a 2-1 game. Goals so far from Clark, Preston, and Ty Warner. He now steps in. Warner drops off. Manderson back for Warner. Back up to the line. Some one-touch passes. Daigle to Warner to the opposite side. And deflected by Steves. Up and out of play. Harris slipped and fell and almost slide tackled the ref with him. And already looking to a similar game to last night. The Purple Knights went down to a 2-0 lead, and at the start of the second, they rallied back to make it 2-2. Those were 2 goals by Ethan Kervin. Clark into the draw against Daigle. Daigle wins it cleanly to his defense. It's Harris across. Warner one-timer that just missed wide. That one had some heat to it. Clark skating up into the zone. He was poke checked by Harris. Trojans trying to get that one to the line. In open ice, it's Manderson. He'll play that back to his defense. Just 50 seconds now to go. Warner's going to find this one behind his net. Warner for Daigle. Now for Warner. That was Harris. High Warner into the zone. He'll try a shot, and this time it's into the glove of Wishart. And there was the quick shot from Manderson earlier on this power play. Avery going into the boards. Brandon Warner in there as well. Preston cycling this one around. He'll fire that one 200 feet the length of the ice. Harris trying to step in the corner. Now goes behind his net, comes to rest. Brandon Warner wants a stretch pass. He's in behind both the defense. But here's Harris. Walking up slowly. He'll try a shot saved by Wishart. Now go for his own rebound. He was turned away by Sagadyev. Penalty now expired. It's Avery going along the boards. Preston skating up for it. Dillis trying to hammer that one in. Brandon Warren unable to hold the line. He goes for a hit. However, he was reversed. This one tied up at the line. A bit of a miscommunication. Now it's Sagadyev moving back for it. Sagadyev to Martin. Martin up the board to try to get that one to Neal. Someone out of his reach. It's back for East Woods to the center. Turned over. Sagadyev stepping back in. Trying to move past Harris. He got tied up. There's Nealis with the shot. And McLaughlin is there with the save. Another close call for Harrison Trimble. Will Nealis was waiting right out in the slot. Off the draw, it's tied up in the corner. Ty Warner going around the net. Murphy back across. Waiting up there, that looks to be Alex Beal trying to send that one out of the zone. He was pinned up, makes his way towards the boards. As they still fight for it in the far boards, Beal shoving his man. Going up the wall. There's a shot from Nealis. Save! Right in the slot, they poke at it. That one somehow stays out. It looked like McLaughlin had originally made the save. The rebound loose somewhere there. And the Trojans are unable to pounce onto that one. Up the line. Nealis again the shot, or that was Whalen, excuse me. Brandon Warner. We'll send this one along the boards. Chasing there was Manderson. Now to the middle. Trying to poke free. Here's Manderson. Pass in the middle as he reverses his man, Bro. Stepping in is Curvin. Trying to get across. Here's Curvin, the sharp angle shot. That one didn't miss wide by much. As it's sent now out of the zone. Ty Warner to the middle. Manderson trying to step in with the dangle. And that one went off the foot of Steves. And cleared all the way down the ice. And this will be icing against Harrison Trimble as we get to about the midway mark of our second period. Face-off will go to the left of Wishart. A quick win. Here's Gonin getting his first shift at the high school level. Almost got his first shot there as well. Harris trying to put this one to the net. This one goes just to the side. Trojans now at the ringette line. Hinckley blocked in by Harris. Shot along the boards. Here's Gonin going for it. Gonin, that one gets skipped off his stick. Now to the middle. Harris might have some room. Harris walks in and fires. And that one had taken a bounce off of something or someone and just missed the net. Woods trying to put this one in the net. Little flip here from Steves. Avery going to apply a hit. There's the Trojans that are the other way. Steves around the net. Harris stopping right out in the front. Still loose. Cleared outside, a high stick. But it looks like it will be Legier that touches up. We'll have to see where the face-off goes. It looks like it'll be in the Harrison Trimble zone at 9:11 left to go in the second. Quickly off the draw, another shot on Wishart for the save. Braden Daigle will head back into the face-off circle as they'll try that one again, just with a bit less time left on the clock. LeBlanc gets that one poked by him. Manderson at a sharp angle. Now gets pushed. Still with it now, meets Legier. Now this one's turned over as Martin tries to hit his man McEachran. That one missing LeBlanc. McEachran walking in. There's the shot. He winded up for that one, then took a hard fall into the boards after he lost his footing. Now high through the zone. It's Daigle skating through. Shot by Legier. Daigle with it behind the net. Trying to go up to the wall where he was trying to see Curvin. Curvin in the slot. Out in front. Manderson was right there but couldn't elevate it over the pad of Wishart. There's another try. Blocked in a bunch of traffic. Here's LeBlanc. Moving this one as he was hit by Curvin. LeBlanc back on defense. There was a hit in the corner. Going up, it's shot in by Carson LeBlanc. Here's another try. That one behind the net of McLaughlin. Warner now going up with McEachran as they rub off each other. Here's the backhand right toward the net. Second yet from the blue line, hitting the brakes. Couldn't get the shot off. Another try. And still, it stays out of the net as this one's flipped over the head of Preston as he has to retreat back with speed. Martin moving through. Pass. There's the shot, and McLaughlin rejects that one as he's down on the ice. Another great try for Harrison Trimble. They've been dominating these past couple minutes. The line. Waiting Preston. There's the shot through traffic. Was unable to get anything going out of that. McFadden in the corner around for Nealis. Trying to move that one out in front. Purple Knights back out with speed. Trying to get past Sagadyev, and Beal is sent down hard. And the Knights bench had wanted a penalty that was debatably interference. Sagadyev now through center. Up to McFadden. McFadden stepping in. Saucer pass to try to get that one to Shidiak. The second dip from the line and winds up. Save, rebound, they score! And make it a 3-1 lead for Harrison Trimble. Sagadev walked in from the line, let one go. Original save there from McLaughlin. But it looks like it's Will Nealis that's waiting on the doorsteps for that one. We'll make it 3-1 in favor of Harrison Trimble, and it will be Shediak that gets credit with the goal. Nealis with the assist, as well as Preston. So everyone in front of the net there getting a point in some way. Gillis tipping this one into the zone. Cummings shooting that one back to the line. Almost held in by Warner. Now he goes into the middle. Ty Warner back with it at his blue line. Trying to go up the wall and redirected into the netting. And that will go for a whistle. A 3-1 game. Multiple players, multiple points on Harrison Trimble. There's Preston, a goal and an assist. Nealis with 2 helpers. And Owen Shediak with the recent goal. Now the puck's pinned up in the Moncton high end. Just about the ringette line at the far boards. They still fight for it. It's Manderson that gets that one out. We'll shoot this one all the way down. Wishart signals icing. Linesman call it off right at the end. Here's Steves trying to get past Manderson. Now in there's Curvin. Flipped up against the boards. LeBlanc to hold the line. Moving out there's Martin. Martin out in the blue line. There's the shot. Took a redirection. Another try at the side of the net. That one looked like it almost had gone in. Less than 6 to go. We get down to the final 5 of period 2. LeBlanc sends a guy down in front. They still battle in the corner. Harris along the wall. This one will find its way outside and all the way down into the Harrison Trimble end. Wishart leaving that one out. Steves working his way behind the net, using his elite edges to get out, getting past Curvin and Daigle. Daigle trying to step in there. Along the wall, McEachran. Going to move this one along the board. That's Clark that finds through traffic. Moving along the boards, Brandon Warner fanning on his pass. Now almost taken away by McEachran. Now it is McEachran on his backhand, going behind the net. McEachran going to go to the line, and there's a big collision that will result in a Moncton High penalty. And it's Brandon Warner that's going to head to the box. And we're unable to get that one on the replay. And it is Brandon Warner that will head to the box for his second time today. Had one earlier for head contact. Wait to see what the call is for this one. But Harrison Trimble is on the power play there, 1 for 1 so far. It's a 2-minute holding call against the man that is 6'7" in height. Sagadev moving in the middle. Now having to cut back, lays a pass off to McFadden. McFadden in the zone, past Gillis. Waiting, cutting around the net. McFadden trying to look out in front. McFadden along the boards. This one gets past Shediak. Gillis the only one there. 2-on-1 for Moncton High. Gillis leading the rush. He has Avery. Gillis to the middle for Avery, and moving back with some great back checking skills there is Shediak. Could have potentially saved a goal with that one. Trojans now regather at the line. They play a bit of catch with it. the blue line. They quarterback it. Sagadyev waits, moves in, fires! And that one had redirected off something and goes way up into the netting. Reston going to the middle. 40 seconds still to go. There's a shot to the net. The rebound up in the high slot. Almost taken away as now the Knights send this one all the way down the ice. Clark finding it at his own red line. Just over 3 to go in the period. Clark accelerating through center. They go in onside. Clark still with it. Past high. Warner to the middle. Now at the line. Preston, the shot. And McLaughlin's there. Another try was blocked. And another shot, another save from McLaughlin. He's made a bunch of saves so far. As the penalty to Warner will now expire. The Purple Knights PK now 1 for 2. There's the shot. That one just missed the net. Nealis out in front. As the Trojans trying to whack at it. The line, a shot through traffic, was redirected into the corner. There's McEachran. He's hounded by LeBlanc and Webb. It's Webb that comes out with it. Sends the back end to the middle. This one flipped high and will take a unfortunate bounce from Moncton High, but will not be called icing. Legier waiting out behind his net. Will spring this one up. It's deflected in the middle. Ty Warner trying another dump, and it worked for him the last time, getting a goal. Preston trying to go behind the net. Hit by Webb. Now gets it to Nealis on the near boards. Moved across for Hinckley. Now Bro stepping in. Bro with Hinckley. There's the shot. The save, and the Hinckley trying to get the rebound off to the side of the net. Another try from Bro. He fell down with shooting that one. And again, it somehow managed to stay out the net. Manderson leading another rush. Manderson moving in, might have some room. Manderson the backhand. And that one off the blocker of Wishart. Bro to the line. Harris shoots that one in. Manderson hits his man against the boards. Takes the puck. Manderson moving around. Out in front. The shot from Harris. Save. Gillis looking for the rebound. And that one will be sent just wide as Gillis now sends Steve's Hart into the boards. Kervin coming in from the line. Daigle. Kervin. They both get shoved into the boards. Cummings, McFadden, and another Trojan in there as well. We get to the last minute. Kervin trying to scoop that one further down the zone. And there's Daigle lifting the stick. Here's Kervin, the shot. And Wishart there to make the save. With 48.3 left to go in the second, Moncton High down by a score of 3-2. And this one sent to the middle, only one there, Carson LeBlanc. Harris came down the pinch, now needs to get back quickly. Martin trying to move that one into the zone. It's LeBlanc that'll flip this one in. Ty Warner behind the net. Not much time to go as he sends this one rink wide to the near boards for Harris. Harris stepping in. trying to get past LeBlanc. He will. Harris to the middle. Manderson the shot, and Wishart there in perfect position. That's a close chance for Moncton High as we get down to what is not much time left to go in the second. Face-off is one. Now when into the feet of Manderson, there's a shot from Harris. Again, Wishart there. So just under 20 still left to play. Clark in the face-off circle. Won by Moncton High. Harris the shot. And that one never had a chance. Legier going up against Manderson. Here's Daigle behind the net, throwing that out in front. There's the shot that just missed. Ethan Curvin very close to getting Moncton High within one. Harris tried to take a swipe at it. McLaughlin out of his net, way out of his net, close to the ringette line. As the buzzer hits 0. And that'll be the end of period 2. Stay tuned for period 3 and join us back when we return. Trimble with a 3-1 lead. Brayden Elaine from the K. LeBlanc will find himself in the corner. McFadden out in front, backing away by LeBlanc. Another try, the backhand saved. A try from LeBlanc. McLaughlin the save again. McFadden cutting to the middle, has a shot. There it is, the save from LeBlanc. Trying to shake him off. Rimmed around for Bro. Bro gonna go up towards Tyler Warner, and he is absolute. Trojans now seeking the puck in the middle. Murphy trying to stop it there. Here's Shudiak walking in. Cut, save me. Just been amazing in net. Incredible positioning. Here's Avery walking in. That one will go off the blocker. Wishart, Brandon Warner to keep the line, put to the net. Behind the net, there's another hit on Nealis. Warner moved it around. Daigle chasing after. There's Preston with a shot. It's right on. Both benches got pretty psyched for that one. Shudiak leading the rush for the Trojans. Walking in. Shudiak, what a move. Shudiak to his backhand. Now forehand, leaving that one up. That one's paddled away by McLaughlin. Anderson having to turn around to find that one. Shot towards the net, redirected, and the shot just fresh troops out on the ice. There was Clark trying to maneuver his way the other way. There's Shudiak, the shot off the crossbar. Shot off the crossbar and will fly up into the netting, almost over it here at the K. Avery with Clark in the draw. Here's Clark right off the face-off, saved and turned away by McLaughlin. Another one right in the high slot, and McLaughlin with McLaughlin. Now we drop the puck. It'll be Clark that wins that one cleanly. A shot from the blue one that was fanned on. Nealis will find the rebound. There's Clark. He scored. And here's our first penalty. Curvin went into the boards hard. We're gonna have a Moncton High power play. Curvin. Here, Harris to Daigle. Back for Harris. They play a little game of catch. Shot towards the net, and that one off the blocker of Wishart. Woods unable to get that one. Shot to the net. The rebound, Clark digging for it, as well as LeBlanc on the ground. There's a backhand try. Intercepted. He gets it back. Another try. That one's picked off. Shudiak the shot. The rebound. Another try. That's blocked. Another one. And Warner, Daigle, Shudiak. They all fight for it. In comes McFadden with an aggressive poke. LeBlanc trying to hold him against. And what is up, YouTube? We are just getting set for the start of the third period. Moncton High down by a score of 3-1 as they try to claw their way back into this one. It started off 2-0. The only Moncton High goal has come from Tyler Warner on an attempted dump in that found its way to the back of the net. Looks like it's Parker LeBlanc that starts this one off, or no, he goes to the bench. Easton Woods is still on the ice, as well as Manderson and Curvin. And we are about to get set here. And oh, ref bobbles the puck there. And here we go, start of the third period. And into the zone, Preston. Moving around his net. Looks out there before shooting that one all the way down the ice. This one is not going to be called icing. It's Woods. Going back behind the net, tries to go up the wall, blocked in by Shidiak. Woods will throw this one to center, tipped in by Daigle. Manderson shaking one off. Manderson might be alone and coming back out of nowhere on defense. I believe that was Sagadyev. Clutching up on the back check. There's Manderson in the corner, trying to maneuver this one around. Pass out in front, right to the side of the net now. Trojans through center. Walking in. Here's a shot. And McLaughlin will be able to glove that one with ease. After the face-off, it's Warner going down, trying to deflect that one out of the zone was Gillis. They pass the line. Here's Lear to the shot. And McLaughlin again, he's there eyeing that one out through traffic. Trojans getting a lot of shots to start this period. This one's chipped high in. Glove down by Avery. It's Martin moving back with it. The backhander to McEachran. Ty Warner at his blue line. Trying to move that one up through center. Blocked in. McFadden. Now storms by Avery. McFadden in off the skate. Ty Warner looking for it. McFadden there as well. Just caught it a bunch of feet at the moment. Gillis trying to get that one out of the line. It's Martin backhanding that one back in. McFadden in the center. Trying to pass that one off to McEachran. Here's Legier walking down from the line. And that one rejected by the pad of McLaughlin. Another try. And McLaughlin will snatch that one in the glove. Moving up there is Banfield trying to step up, and he was quickly upended. And there's a hit on Cummings on Webb. Moving back for it there. That looked to have been Beal who got that back. Woods out of the zone. There's Banfield going up for a hit. Here's Woods circling back in the offensive end, or in the defensive end, excuse me. Trying to move that one up through center. Hinckley up the wall back for Woods. He'll send a one-touch DDD pass. Harris up for Banfield. Banfield trying to evade a hit, but the puck gets stolen. Harris tried to get that one out of the zone. That was off a linesman. Woods going behind the net. We'll wrap that one around the wall. Whalen would be able to get that one, but not before he exited the zone. There's a hit along the wall of the Trojans. They try to step into the zone, almost offside. Steves winding in, drops down to the middle. Try to get that backhand off of Bro. Here's Maltis leaving the zone. Rowan Maltis up past a couple. Maltis to the middle, and no one waiting there. His only option could have been Ethan Curvin, but he was playing more of the high slot. Trojans now perform the exit. Bro will backhand that one off past Ty Warner. Here's LeBlanc in the middle. And Daigle, I believe he was taken down at center, and he wanted a call for it. Maltis hit up against the boards by Clark. Behind the net there's Preston, leaving that one off behind him for Hinckley. Hinckley, he'll break out of the zone for Harrison Trimble. Trying to move up, or that was Nealis rather. Ty Warner behind his net. Waiting along the boards, here's Ethan Curvin. Curvin will go cross ice and tried to hit Gillis. That one's going to be deflected, so will not go for Gillis. With it on his tape. He was rubbed out as he went into the boards. And cleared out. Having to move back there quickly is LeBlanc. He gets that one over for Warner. Warner will get that one to Gillis. He'll tap that one in the middle. The only one there, Sagadyev, will not be able to hit any options. Back for Warner. Warner trying to go up ice around the boards right for his brother Brandon. Stepping in, there's the shot saved by Wishart, and he'll elect to cover. Tie up off the drop. Trojans win that one as they come back with speed. Walking in was Martin. Now this one flies towards the net. That was Harris accidentally putting it towards his own cage. And this one somehow ends up. Brandon Warner was taken down with speed. They chase after it. No icing. It's Gillis now going around the net. Ryan Gillis put to the front of the net. Jackson Avery there, but he couldn't quite get a stick on it. Here's Woods finding it in the open ice. Back skating in reverse. Goes along the wall. Deflected in by Gillis. Only one back there, Sagadyev. He's watched closely by Curvin. Sagadyev trying to get a high backhand off. It just barely gets over. I believe that was Daigle jumping up for it. McFadden now. Here's McLaughlin out of his net. Makes a perfect pass to Curvin, where he was quickly poke checked. McFadden trying to send that one back. Woods going D to D. Up there. Gets that one. Warm Anderson as he now goes rink wide. Tries to evade a hit on Martin. Couldn't get it by Sagadyev there. I believe that was Legier, excuse me. McFadden trying to flip that one in. Blocked by McEachran, cleared back in. Harris on the far side. Now with room as the Trojans go for a change to try to see Curvin. That one unable to be deflected. So it'll be an icing charged against the Knights. The face-off will go to McLaughlin's left. And the Trojans will now get a very late change. Or Caleb Dion is heading to the box. And it'll be a Trojans power play. Did not see exactly what happened. We'll have to see once we get an update. But Caleb Dion is in the box. Must have been something that was said or done after or before the latest whistle. That one's fired all the way down the ice. Manderson chasing after it. Going out on Wishart, almost turning that one over. Had tried to get that one caught in his feet. Trojans the other way. Sagadyev moving in. Drops it off. There's the shot. And that one just missed the left post. Walking up there, Legier at the ringette line. Legier waiting. Going across, up to the blue line now. Sagadyev down for Shidiak, up for Sagadyev. They play a little catch and there's a shot. Steve's waiting right in front for that. McFadden skating up top, really trying to slow the play down here. Shidiak going across, walking in. There's the shot, and that one didn't get all the way through. Sagadyev with a perfect opportunity. There was Manderson falling down, walking in. There's the shot. McLaughlin with the blocker save. Martin up to the boards. Here's Shidiak going Sagadyev across McFadden. McFadden, Shidiak off his feet, caught in by Sagadyev at the line. Sagadyev down for Martin. Martin moves to the net. There's the shot, the save, and the rebound is cleared out into the corner. Martin now trying to move it up to the line. Was upended there by Woods. There's a drive from the line. Sagadyev, his shot blocked by Manderson, and now he'll be able to clear. So Ethan Manderson showing an absolute clinic on this penalty kill, blocking shots, getting into lanes, and almost even took possession towards the start of it. Clark stepping in. He leads the rush, gets past LeBlanc. Clark on his backhand trying to throw that one out in front. Only one there is Ty Warner, and down the ice it'll go. Just around 10 seconds still to go on this Purple Knights penalty to Caleb Dion. And it is a bench minor. So it must have been something that had been said. He's now out of the box. So the Purple Knights make quick work, and with no whistles, they kill that penalty off. Curvin gets this one out of the zone. One touch pass. Here's Preston on the near boards. Walking in past the blue line. Past to Clark. Clark fires. Save, and the rebound. It's that tries to clear this one out. Blocked by Avery. Warner going around the boards. He's hit by McEachran. LeBlanc trying to send that one up. And it looks like this will not be called icing. It was deflected barely by the Trojans. They'll have to go back for this one and reset that pass. Almost picked off by Daigle. And trying to get that one hit off his skate. McEachran winding in, and he was quick, promptly swept away by Warner. Daigle against the glass. Moving back, there's Preston. He has a goal and 2 assists so far in this game. Now sends that to his D partner, back for Preston. Preston skating up, dumping it in, the save from McLaughlin, and he'll elect to hold on as we get close to the midway mark of period 3. Walking in, here's Beal. Stepping into the zone, Beal hits the brakes. He's hit down, a couple players go falling. Trojans will find the puck here. Harris against the boards. He'll clear that one in. Here's Curvin coming down. At the line, here's the shot from the Purple Knights. And that one hit off a body and went wide. There's Curvin applying the body. Cummings going in. He's about at the hash marks. As they still fight for it, looks like it's going to be brought out by Harrison Trimble. Skating up his Steves on Woods. Steves tried to get that to the middle, and that one intended for Hinckley, but was too high and unable to be knocked down. Curvin, the nice move to cut to the middle. He'll flip this one in, as he now will go for a line change. Cutting around McFadden, trying to get around Webb. Walking in, there's Banfield out of nowhere off the bench. Did not look like he was going to slow up. There's Maltus on defense. Has a bit of a lane, has to go quickly, but was angled out. Legier in there with Banfield. They look for it here in the near corner. The Purple Knights getting a bit of offensive zone time. They're unable to get anything set up. There's Woods trying to get out of the zone. Shot just misses the left post. Maltus up to the line. There's Webb. Back with it, there's Legier. Legier up for Martin. Martin trying to go to the middle. That one taken away by Avery as he moves that one back for Woods. Woods will chuck that one across. Harris bringing it in along the blue line. Harris cutting wide on LeBlanc to the middle. And Jackson Avery was there, but was unable to corral that one. Along the boards, it's McEachran. Now trying to get the outlet pass to get out of the zone. The only one there is, I believe that's Ty Warner heading in. Here's Warner, the shot along the ice. He knows he beat Wishart one time using that. Trying it again. There's McEachran going down on the ice, now struggling to get back up. And when he does, he gets by LeBlanc, trying to kick it back to his tape. And LeBlanc gets him into the boards. Here's Warner. Into the feet of Gillis now. Going to shoot that one up, back for Warner on the blue line. LeBlanc took a bit of a stumble. Warner still with possession, trying to go up the middle. Deflected by his twin brother Brandon as it gets into the zone. Preston around the net now in his forehand. Try to get that one over for Martin. Caught in by Warner. Shot along the glass. Moving down low is Gillis with pressure from Preston. Nealis trying to go along. Held in. LeBlanc, the first try doesn't work. The other try, again, also out of the zone. Luckily, Curvin back there for Moncton High trying to get in, and he was sent down. Under 8 to go in period 3. Purple Knights still down by a score of 3-1. But this period has gone by pretty quickly. Not too many whistles to report. As there's a slide tackle right in the middle. Nealis had gone down. It looked like it was more accidental by LeBlanc, who had fallen. A stretch pass up, skating in. Clark walks in and fires. McLaughlin there for the save. And there's McLaughlin having a little bit of a break for about the first time this game. And here we go back to the middle. Just a few moments ago where LeBlanc falls down, where it looks like he'll slay Nealis there right in the middle, sliding down on his knees. May have been just a loss of footing. Trimble at the line. Preston moving it to the middle. Sagadiev, the shot through traffic. Clark looking there for the rebound. But McLaughlin, he's able to hold that one up there. Now Knights trying to exit the zone here. Malta stick lifted. Nealis the shot. That one missed wide. Clark put to the side of the net. McLaughlin's there. Here's Beal on his forehand. Poke check. This one will flutter out to the line where Maltus will put this one against the boards. Delayed icing. Looks like Preston's going to be able to get there, so they'll wave this one off. Walking in, Clark with some pressure. Tried to put it to the net. It looks like this will go just to the blue line for Nealis. Now for Sagadiev. Sagadiev holding it at the line. Waiting. cutting back, trying to shake off a couple defenders. Sagadev will unload off the post right there. And out of the zone where it looks like this one will not have enough for icing. So another close call for the Purple Knights. McLaughlin's going to have to thank his left post for that one later. Chidiak over the line, dropping this one off. Now Manderson going to try to escape free. It's Sagadev with the elite edges, who is able to put this puck into at least some open ice. Braden Daigle going against the boards. Tried to clear this one in. It's Clark. Sending a saucer pass to the opposite side now. Trojans in the neutral ice. Stepping up is Clark. He'll put this one behind the net. It'll wrap around, go to the hash marks, where Hinckley's in there to put it in. Daigle in the corner. Up for Gillis. Gillis, this one out of his reach. Intercepted. There's Bro, the shot. Another great save by McLaughlin. This one will hop over the stick of Warner. Out in front in the equipment of Warner now. He tries to get jabs at it. Taken away by Daigle and outside the zone. Hit by Hinckley, but he'll still be able to get this one deep in the zone. Whalen, first one back for it for the Trojans. Trying to circle this one back. Warner waiting, cutting back, scanning and observing, looking for his options. Along the boards, deflected in. This one's not going to be called icing as we get down to our final 5 of period 3. Trojans escape their zone. The leading pass up, walking in. Here's Whalen dropping that one off. McEachran the shot, another one that clangs off the bar. Another try from Bro, the save. McEachran backhand to the middle. That one blocked by the feet of Avery. It would have gone right to Cummings if that had not been the case. Delayed offside. Avery move it back to Woods. Been a while without a whistle here at the K Arena as we get down to the last minutes of play. Beal walking in. Here's the shot attempt. That would have been blocked by Martin. Avery now trying to hold the line. He successfully will. Over to Beal. Beal to the middle. Now trying to get by, I believe that defenseman there is Whalen. Rimmed along the boards by Bro. Trying to capture that at the line. Ty Warner. Shot to the net. Wishart the save. He'll play that one. This play continues. Been about 4 or 5 minutes since our last whistle. This one redirected in the corner. Woods moving back for it. Again, he'll be like Ty Warner earlier, just really trying to see his options, trying to see the play develop like a football route. Harris to the middle. Daigle might have some room. Bro is going for a change. Daigle moving in on Whalen to the middle, and he couldn't quite get the shot off. So another good try for Moncton High. And again, they're just short of being able to convert. Woods trying to go up against the wall. Blocked there by Martin. McFadden in there as well. To the line. Faking the slap shot was Legier. Back to McFadden. He tries a shot. And that one had just trickled by. McEachran was waiting in front of the net. This one will skip. Caught by McLaughlin. Behind the net. Here's McFadden. Looking out in front. McFadden saucers it to the line. Waiting. There's a shot from LeBlanc. The save. Jamming at it there was McEachran right on the front. Cleared along the wall. Past Martin. Here's Manderson who skates after it. Was poke checked. Now just 3 minutes left to go in this hockey game. Trojans through center. Walking in, McFadden. McFadden trying to get that one over to LeBlanc. LeBlanc past McFadden to the line. Held him by Legier. He shoots. It's the save from McLaughlin. The rebound just trickles wide. LeBlanc is absolutely destroyed by McEachran in the corner. And there's our first whistle with less than 3 minutes left. Keelan McEachran laying the boom on Parker LeBlanc right in the corner. And first of all, what a great chance for the Trojans. And then there's McEachran laying the boom on Parker LeBlanc. And the Purple Knights will take a timeout here on Moncton High Sports. When we come back, it'll be a Moncton High power play as they are down by 2 and less than 3 to go. And now Moncton High on a 4-minute power play. So they will be on it for the rest of the game. Keelan McEachran off 4 minutes for head contact, so it could be crucial for Moncton High. And they also have an empty net, so it's a 6-on-4 right now. McLaughlin is at the bench. They handle it behind the net. Curvin passing that one out back for Curvin. Back up to Daigle. Here's Harris at the blue line. Harris, the shot through traffic. Saved by Wishart. They still look for him, and it's covered right in the high slot. Well, if there was a time Moncton High they get 2 straight goals, it'd be right now. A 4-minute power play, a double minor. Harris, the shot deflected. Manderson was waiting right out in front and tried to get a redirection. Daigle, the pass too strong for Harris to the line. This one moves it all the way out. 2 minutes to go in period 3. Harris waiting up for Ty Warner. This one goes to Daigle, now off a couple skates. Still with Daigle. Poke check by Shidiak. They still fight for it in the middle. Gillis will shoot this one along the ice into the corner. Takes a rebound where Jackson Steves is there. Pressure from Gillis as he rubs his body up against his, right against the boards. Gillis jamming at it. Manderson looking out in front, now curls around the net, trying to get a wraparound going. Almost lost his footing as now he goes into the boards. This one fired all the way down the ice. Just less than a minute and a half. It's a race for it. And somehow no penalty called on Harris. Looking like both players were tied up. Harris checks the clock. Has less than a minute and 20. Harris looks up. Headman's the puck for Braden Daigle. Daigle working his way up. He's angled out but stays on his feet as the puck will trickle slowly out of his reach going behind the net. Gillis hitting the break. Now going right back behind the net. Gillis leaving that one out for Curvin. Curvin waiting in the corner. Pass out in front and tried to see Braden Daigle, who was sneaking in the back door. And Harris unable to hold the line. Ty Warner getting back, leaving that one off. McFadden now against the wall. With pressure from behind, McFadden to the net. That one saved by the stick of Warner. Warner to Curvin. Curvin skating up in the zone. Trying to maneuver his way by. All the way down, and this one will not go for icing. Harrison Trimble still on the penalty kill. Less than 30 to go. Touched by a high stick of Moncton High. So whistle at 27 and some. Down 20 to go. Off the draw. Harris at the hash marks. Moving to the middle past Mern. Harris stepping into the blue line. Harris walks in and fires. Saved by Wishart. The rebound out in the corner. McLaughlin down to the bench again. So it's a 6-on-4. Walking in. Curvin fires from the blue line. Blocked. Trojans will come back the other way. They'll take swipes at it as it gets into the Moncton High end. Preston shooting this one but missing the empty net. And the Trojans will take this one by a score of 3-1 at the K. The next Moncton High game will be Christmas Eve at 2:15 here at the K, Tuesday, December 23rd. Thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you in the next one. Braden Lane signing off from the K here in Louisville.